Coming up live on LiveWire, we've got a great show for you today. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Ray Tatter, and we had a fantastic show. We're going to talk to Mindy, who is a representative from the River City Marketplace, and we're going to talk about how that can enhance your whole holiday spirit, right? Yeah. Okay, and also then we're going to talk dogs. We have dog organizations that are supportive of adopting dogs and taking care of dogs and animals that are a part of our urban life. So stay tuned for LiveWire right after this. Okay, this. They're always slow on that. With me in the studios, Mindy
Jovanovich.
Okay, it's easy to say once you get it down. And I was almost there.
You had it and then you forgot it again.
I got nervous.
I know.
Yeah,
it happens.
At any rate, the River City Marketplace has been around for about 4 years now, right?
That's right.
And you were walking down the street one day and you said, I think I'll found this organization.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. No, I'm a local vendor. I own my local brand, and my business partner, Anna Monzano, also has her own brand. And we were just really kind of tired of not having larger open air markets in Sacramento. We had to travel to the Bay and pay really high booth fees, and we knew we could bring it to Sacramento affordably, and we knew we had enough of a community and enough of a vendor want to kind of bring it together. Now in
Sacramento, things are really popping.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's really changed since I moved here.
Yeah, it's palpable, and it's just really great to be part of it.
Yeah, it is. So this is the interesting thing. I mean, the marketplace has a disco. I mean, a lot of marketplaces, craft market, holiday marketplaces don't have these things, but this market has got a lot of stuff that
Right.
Why don't you tell me?
Well, so all of our markets prior to this have been a little bit differently structured outside during times that are nice, spring, fall, where the weather's perfect to walk your dogs, take your kids. But again, what we kept getting requests for from both the community and our vendors is, well, we need an indoor holiday market. We can't do it out in the rain. We want an indoor one. So we keep kind of calling this like River City Marketplace's, cool older sister. So there's going to be bars and dancing and still family friendly. There's going to be a kids room where you can bring your family. But in addition to that, there's going to be some live art demos, DIY booths where you can make and take your own, anything from jewelry to succulents to...
So you can go and hang out the whole day and make something for, someone you love or go and buy something.
Exactly. I mean, it's just so much better than the malls this time of year because the ambiance, I mean, it really is a community event where you want to stay and the stuff is really high quality. So,
right. I think that's a fascinating thing. And I like the idea of it being family friendly, because a lot of people, they really need to have their kids with them,
Both of us are moms, so we also know.
Oh, okay.
We want an event where our kids are welcome.
Absolutely.
But also fun for the adults,
And what I really liked about it was the silent disco part.
It's a really,
we were at the fair, the state fair, my wife and I, and we went to a room and then we saw all these people going there. No music, They're all wearing headphones, and I thought, let's try that.
Yeah. And what's really fun about that is you can shop in your own sort of musical experience while you're at the market. So.
Yeah, you don't have to hear that people noise.
Yeah, if you don't want to.
You don't want to, right. And a pop-up massage studio.
Yeah, so we have a massage therapist who has her own studio, but of course she can't bring her brick and mortar there, so she's popping up her studio.
Oh, I see. That's where that comes from.
Yeah.
Well, there's some pictures from something you've done recently, so let's have a look at that, and you can be the narrator.
Sure.
All right, here we go. These are pictures from the River City Marketplace.
Yeah, so that one was May 2nd market 2 years ago. I can tell by the vendors that are set up. Yeah, that's the one at Fremont Park. This one was at McKinley. We like to travel around to different neighborhoods and kind of cater to each neighborhood and the things they want. Tahoe Park, there were a lot of dogs and bikes, and so we did a lot of artisan stuff.
There's a lot of art there. I can see right there. That's good. Strange art. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Wow. I don't know who that artist is.
That's Bob Giersick. He will be there at this holiday market.
Okay. There it is. Amazing. So this is on the 19th.
17th.
And it's at a place called the Urban Hive on Alhambra Boulevard. And what time does it open?
So November 17th, it opens at 4. So it'll be around from 4 to 9. It'll be going on. There's going to be food trucks out in the parking lot, and then once you enter, that's when you'll see all that.
And there's enough parking there, that's for sure.
Free parking in the cannery for that day, specifically for our event. So,
okay,
yes.
Well, that's a good thing. Yeah. In the cannery right in the middle of town there off of Alhambra. I know it well. I go to the post office there. That's where I put my Christmas cards in.
Yeah.
Well, I live in Midtown, so I use that post office pretty often. So this is good, the River City Marketplace, and it's in its 4th year, so obviously you've got your handle on something that the people want and need.
Yeah, I think so. I've done some traveling. I've lived in a few different places around the country, and every time I'd go to a city that I loved, they would have something like New Orleans has the French Market, and Brooklyn has Brooklyn Flea, and Washington, D.C. has so many different art events, and I just knew Sacramento needed it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sacramento needed it. That's a good
And
one.
we were waiting for it.
And so, anything I missed?
I don't think so.
Mindy Jovanovic.
Well,
thank
my
you
last
so
name,
much.
yeah. But
Thanks for talking to me.
Thank
about
you,
this.
you too.
All right, and we'll see you at the River City Marketplace. Okay, we're going to take a short pause right now, and we'll be back with some important information about the four-footed friends that we know and love so well. Right after this important message, yet another one.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her, thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
Nearly half of children with autism wander away from safe places, such as their home or school. If you ever see a child walking alone, remember the 3 S's. Stop to help, seek assistance from police, stay until they arrive. If a child with autism is missing, immediately search places that pose the most danger, such as nearby water and busy streets. To learn more, visit missingkids.com/aware.
Hey, we're back with LiveWire, and it is live. With me in the studio are Jason and Christy Aries.
Arias.
Oh, so
Arias
close.
is Arias. I
So
got
close.
it.
It's a day.
You got a third try later.
Arias is
Yeah. You got one more try.
name. So you two were walking down the street one day and you said, we love dogs so much. Let's form a rescue dog fine art gallery. Let's take pictures of dogs and make dogs an important asset to our community.
Actually, yeah, that is oddly enough kind of how it happened. We were having lunch for our anniversary at a hotel, and we were walking through and came across an opportunity of opening up a pop-up gallery.
In their community room.
In their community room.
Yeah.
And so it started out as a fine art gallery, and now it's turned into something much bigger. But then the note of the sign that you have there
Is from the gallery.
that's a new gallery that we're opening in Sacramento now.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
It's on, and you partner with the Front Street Gallery,
Front Street Animal Shelter.
So
they're animal shelter.
Right, so they're one of our biggest ones, but really the FUREVER Sacramento as a whole is set up to benefit any nonprofit that's in animal welfare.
This is really amazing. I know about animal welfare, and I have supported the shelters from time to time, either in Los Angeles where I lived for a long time, or here, and to see it kind of blossom and have these wonderful services that flourish around it.
It's
really
cool.
amazing.
It's really, it feels so good though too, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it really does. It really does. It's like, oh, this is the new world. Oh, it's good.
Right.
No, really. So, what gave you this idea? I mean, do you have animals?
Absolutely.
We do.
We have many in our family.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw two-footed ones around here.
Yeah,
somewhere.
those are the
are-
less furry kids.
less furry
they're
children.
hanging out
They're
in the
not
other
less
room.
furry
Kids are
than
at home
me, yeah.
still. Yeah.
But then we have 2 of our own rescues as well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But
And then our whole family, extended
yeah,
family.
yeah, there's a picture of us.
I
I
don't
think.
really have many friends without rescues.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah. They all
yeah.
have fur children.
Well, the president of my board has a rescue, and he's great.
Yeah.
Just great. We
They're
take him out to
amazing.
walk. And I asked him the other day, he wants me to toss the ball, but he's got it in his mouth. So I say, give me the ball.
It doesn't work.
It does.
Does it?
Yeah.
And
So
then,
good.
Then I said later, get me the ball, because it was not in his mouth. And he looked around and then he went over and got it
smart.
and brought it over to me.
That's awesome. He's so
Very cool.
smart. Good.
Obviously, there's some dogs that are really, they must have ball down.
So here's what's kind of unique about what it is that we do, and even like stories about what you're talking about right now, is that the rescue community as a whole historically has been fantastic about celebrating the stories before they're adopted.
Yes.
Right? And it tends to be kind of sad sometimes, and like what we're saving them from. What the FUREVER Sacramento project is focused on is the impact that they have in our lives after adoption, and not just a week after adoption, like months, years, this entire lifespan, and that happiness that they've brought into our life, that impact, that security, like any number of things. And we spend time talking with these families to really discover what that's been.
Oh, yeah.
How they've changed their life.
That's
the
right.
impact
Yeah.
that they've had on
Changed
them.
my neighborhood's life.
Absolutely.
Right. A lot of we've heard that a lot of
Absolutely.
times where it's such a broad impact.
Yeah.
And so then we photograph that relationship, right? And then we get to provide, in addition to their booking deposit that gets donated directly back to the nonprofit of the storyteller's choice.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah. We also use those photographs and that story to feed back to the nonprofits that they've been benefiting.
So then they're not just sharing those sad stories
Absolutely.
anymore. They're able to share what these animals are
happy stories.
really
Right.
doing in our lives.
This is good.
We love it.
Good. Yeah, and I have a number of books about dogs. Held Jr., Robert Held Jr. wrote a number of dog stories in the 1920s. And the books are fabulous to read. Each story is wonderful. And they're usually very, very positive stories.
Yeah.
There's some very sad stories. But you have an opening.
Well, actually, to touch on that, it's funny you brought the book up, because then at the end of the year, we take all of the best stories with the photography, we put them into a coffee table book that's featuring just Sacramento rescue stories. We sell that book to
And then
raise
the-
To raise
additional
more
profit.
money
Yep.
for it. So
Absolutely.
but you do have an event coming up.
Yeah.
We do. It just came up yesterday, so there's all this other stuff that we're excited to talk about. But just yesterday, we officially partnered everything together with Front Street to open up a pop-up gallery down on our street for First Friday
From 6 to 9.
from 6 to 9. Yep. And
So
so what's
we'll
that, December
have-
7th?
Yeah, all of our artwork that
Our
really
street
focuses.
is really a jump in place now.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's really cool.
Good. And so the rescue part of it, how do you find folks who have gotten dogs and clicked? Because a lot of times they don't click.
Believe it or not, so these are some of the misnomers that we think that they don't click, but they do
do.
a lot of times. In fact, sometimes even just through the foster programs and all these different things. But to answer your question of how do we find them, one, it's a community-based project, so we're constantly just looking for the stories, and people are telling, like, I would sit and have a conversation with you, and you would tell me about this rescue story. But in addition to that, also with the other nonprofits that are getting involved, they tell us and share with,
We
with
have
their
some
circle.
little video, I think, or some slides.
Yeah.
Look, we could have a look at those. And
yeah.
We'll see what that is.
Sure.
Okay, great. FUREVER Sacramento.
Yeah.
F-U-R.
You know
Right.
fur.
Okay, here we go. Here we go with a B-roll, we call it here up on a television land.
To take her to a park and let her off the leash and see her run, it's one of the most joyful things. And then she shares that pure joy with me.
3.5 years ago, I decided to get sober. So they rescued me.
From day one, she just wanted to protect us.
You realize what a moment.
That's great.
Yeah.
So Jason,
And there's a full-length one on the
were you a
website.
photographer before this and did film and things like that?
Yeah, our backgrounds. Christy's our primary photographer at our local studio, but yeah, we've been photographers for over 10 years now.
Very good.
Yeah.
You got the eye, that's for
Thank
sure, for
you.
catching all that. And it needs the eye, you know, I mean, I take pictures of my cat and dog, but
But you're not in them when you take those photos.
no, I'm not. I'm actually behind the camera, but
That's right.
yeah, this is really good. So let's go, and we have to let people know that you have an event coming up, and they can learn more about that. You do have a website, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's called
Forever USA.
FUREVERUSA.com.
Correct.
FUREVER, FUREVERUSA.com.
Correct.
But you also have an event coming up, and when is that?
So December 7th, down on R Street from 6 to 9. And if you go to Forever Sacramento's Facebook page,
Yes.
there's an event there that you can sign up for and get all the details on that as well.
Good-o. Thank you so much for coming. I wish you
Absolutely.
both well.
Thank
and
you.
All the animals that you take pictures of and
Thank
all the people who are loving that kind of services, I wish you well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Great.
much.
Thanks, Ray.
All right, well, we got to take a short pause for the cause, and we'll be back after these other important messages with more about good dogs.
Every year, tens of thousands of young people experience homelessness. If you or someone you know needs help, 1-800-RUNAWAY can provide support and connect you to the right resources. Together, we can end youth homelessness.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
The organization is called Positive Impact. And that's not for like waiting, like taking a pause. It's more like pause, like animal pause.
Absolutely.
So, Ronnie Heaton, you are the chiefo of that organization.
Well, I wouldn't say the chiefo. I have a title of executive
right.
director, but you know, it takes a lot of folks to put
I know,
together.
it's a collaborative thing, especially when it comes to this kind of project.
Absolutely.
I think. Yeah. So, and young lady, you are on the board of directors.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I've served on a number of boards, and I must tell you, it's tough.
It's a lot of work, but
Making
it's
an
rewarding.
organization, you know, chug ahead and do projects.
Yeah.
Tell me about the projects.
So we are a nonprofit organization, and we have partnered up with the Front Street Animal Shelter.
Yes.
They do a lot in the community for our animals. And what we do is our objective is to pair at-risk youth with at-risk animals.
Yes.
And how we do that is we've created a curriculum where we pull dogs that are adoptable from the shelter. We take them into the Youth Detention Center, Sacramento Youth Detention Center. We've also gone into River Oak Center for Children, so a couple of different facilities there.
Yes, good.
And what we do is we take the dogs in, we teach these kids how to train the basics to these dogs. In return, you know, the kids are learning about themselves. They're learning a lot about communication, empathy. There's just a large area of things that they're learning there. And at the same time, the dogs are learning these different activities, which helps them be adopted. So, you know, over the period of time, we've been doing this for 3 years now, we've had hundreds of dogs really that have gone through this program and have been adopted out.
This is great. Ailey, how did you become involved with dogs?
Well, I grew up around them, and while I was in school, actually, I just kind of found my interest in animal welfare and wanted to figure out a way that I could help out the animals in my community. And so I actually work at the Front Street Animal Shelter, and I found out about Positive Impact through them, so I started up with them back in June and have been just working to try and get our name out there and, you know, help as many kids and animals as we can.
So you do have an event coming up too, don't
We do,
what is it?
yes.
We do have an event
Yeah,
coming
it's happening next Tuesday. It is a fundraiser to just raise some money to help our program grow.
Good.
It's happening at Device Brewing Company on our street as well, right in the ice blocks. It's a new location. It should be pretty fun. We're gonna have a lot of prizes to give out to people who come to the event. We're gonna have a couple adoptable dogs there. It's a kid-friendly location. You're able to bring your dogs as well, so it should be a good time.
That'll be a blast.
Okay, so you can get on your website, which is Positive Impact.
CA.org.
California.org.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I think it's a great thing. So let me ask you a little more in depth about the process. The process is fascinating because, you know, you do have these at-risk kids. They're going through all kinds of changes, like you said. There has to be some form of interlocutor who brings the dog in and explains the dog.
Well, so I'm also the trainer. So
I
I play two roles in this in the organization. I'm the executive director. So and the other one is the dog trainer. So I'm one of two dog trainers. Our lead dog trainer, Pam Francis Tuss, originally started the curriculum. And what we do is, we stop at the shelter 5:30ish. Pick up some dogs. We usually take 4 dogs in. We'll take them into the shelter, and we'll start with our program starts inside the shelter with the kids circled up. So we'll talk a little bit about the exercise that we're going to work on that night. Talk a little bit about initially we'll find out who might be afraid of dogs. You know, just so that we have a good feel for who's in the class. And then through the night we will go and we will teach them the basics of sit, stay, come. How to walk their dog on a loose leash, you know, and at the end of the class we'll circle back up and we have some questions for them, you know, some basic questions to say, how did training go today? So they have some writing activities as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. This is sounds like a very good and wonderful thing. I mean, what do they do there?
Yeah, you know, I got to tell you, with both the Youth Detention Center and River City Oak, this program happens to be one of the favorite of both. You know, it's not mandatory for either facility. This is all based off of volunteers, and of course there is a criteria for you to be in the class, so you have to behave yourself. So and through the 3 or 4 sessions that we've been through both facilities, we're learning that again, this is their preferred.
This is great. I think it's a wonderful thing. There's also that other thing about it's a class too. You're in a class. So we have some photographs, I think. Why don't we look at those photographs and you can give me a sense of what's up. Here we go. It's a therapeutic program, probably for the dogs as well as the young people.
Oh, absolutely. The dogs are learning a lot as well.
And maybe even a few of the adults standing around, right?
Oh, you'd be surprised how interactive the guards are.
Uh-huh.
They really enjoy the program as well.
Yeah, sure. You know, it's just there are things that we have to do when we have kids in detention, and we have to certainly make sure that they have education in some of the life services and the life issues that they would face.
Sure, you know, it's a 6-week program, and on the 6th week, there's a graduation. And for that graduation, we set up an obstacle course, you know, a little agility course in the gymnasiums, and the kids get to run the dogs through the agility course, and then we provide them with a certificate of completion. So to see, you know, their expressions on their face where they've completed something.
Yeah,
right?
they have something to hold on
Yes,
to as
absolutely.
well. That's fantastic. Good. So you have a fundraiser because
Yes.
what happens? You need money.
Yes, we are primarily volunteer run. We're based solely off donations and grants. So donations are kind of what keep us going and what allow us to help out the kids and the animals in our community. So this fundraiser is just a fun way for us to try and raise some more funds to help with those things.
Wow. Haley, well, it is on Tuesday, November 13th.
Yes.
And it's at the Device Brewing Company. And so if I go and buy myself some pale ale,
Yes.
some of that money goes to you?
Yeah, every pint that they sell, they'll be donating $1 back to us.
Thank you so much, Ronnie, and thank you, Haley, for
Thank
talking
you.
to me about this wonderful program, Positive Impact.
Thank you
with
for
a
having us.
positive impact.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's all the time we have today. And thanks for all of the people that serve and come and help hit this program too, because there are some volunteers here as well. So we'll see you next Wednesday at 5. We're live at 5. Okay, Cinnamon, take it away. See ya.